Assalamu alaikum. So far, we learned about the different parts of a sentence: the verb, the noun, and the meaning letter. This sentence here has a verb with a pronoun attached to it. Also, we have nouns and we have meaning letters. So, if you memorize this sentence, you will have an example of all these different parts. Here we have ماذا, which is a question, which means what in this context, ماذا. We have a verb with a pronoun, أكلت, you ate, أكل, he ate, ta is you. For a second person, singular, masculine, ta, أكلت. صباحا, that's the word for morning. So just by saying صباحا, it means in the morning or morning time. So ماذا أكلت صباحا? What did you eat in the morning? So what did you eat is أكلت here. The ta here is you. أكل, did eat together. In English, I would translate all these as أكلت. Or it means you ate. So you can use this by itself. أكلت خبز. You ate bread. You ate. So that's why I have this slash here. So ماذا أكلت صباحا? What did you eat in the morning? قبل is before. So this is before. I will have these highlighted towards the end of this video. So قبل is before. That's what it means. It's a preposition. ذهاب is the to form of the verb to go, ذهب. So going, ذهاب. So it's the source noun, to go or going. The ka means your. So you're going, ذهابك, you're going. And this is called a semi-sentence, you're going. And it can be replaced by this أن تذهب. تذهب is the present tense derived from ذهاب, which is the source noun ذهاب. And the past tense is ذهب, he went. أن تذهب is a meaning letter أن with the present tense verb تذهب, which can replace ذهابك. You can understand it as that you go, أن تذهب. Together they mean ذهابك, you're going. So that's why I wrote here you're going or you went. So in Arabic you can say ذهابك or أن تذهب. إلى العمل. إلى is to. So to work, إلى العمل. To the house, إلى البيت, and so on. إلى, to. العمل, we learned about the definite article. It's al here. عمل is work. إلى العمل, work, to the work. The literal translation of العمل is the work. So this sentence says ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل ذهابك إلى العمل, or ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل أن تذهب إلى العمل, before you went to the work, the literal meaning. But it means, I wrote it here as what did you eat in the morning before you went to work. So here I put the possible translation of the word, but the way you say it in English is what did you eat in the morning before you went to work. Now I wrote morning time here to point out that صباحا can mean that also, morning time. In the morning or morning time. ذهابك or أن تذهب is you're going. But أن تذهب here is not like you went. You went is ذهبت, you went. There is a word for it. But here أن تذهب, just to give you let you know that you can see it as أن تذهب, or it can be replaced by ذهابك, you're going. Here I'm just pointing out that in this sentence you're saying you're going. So this أن تذهب is not represented in the English text here. Just ذهابك, which is you're going. But the meaning of this word, before in English you would say before you went. That's how I would say it in English. So this is the translation of this sentence. Now, if you memorize this sentence, ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل ذهابك إلى العمل؟ Or ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل أن تذهب إلى العمل؟ I suggest you just use ذهابك. ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل ذهابك إلى العمل? What did you eat in the morning before you went? In Arabic, the literal translation is you're going to work. So just be aware of that. In English, you would say before you went to work. So what did you eat in the morning before you went to work? Now, after you memorize this, you can replace the pronoun, the subject pronoun or the doer, this ta here, with other ones. And with the habika, you can replace it with another verb. The timing you can replace, and the question. So we will see examples of that in a second. So you can replace what with where, when, the timing, evening, noon, the قبل, before, after, the work, to school, and so on. I suggest you use Wiktionary for the conjugation of the verb. It will have the different pronouns, subject pronouns attached to it, and use it with other verbs too when you master this one. Also, I suggest you only use a verb that has all consonant letters, so no vowels. And choose verbs that you use daily, like writing, going. So I think the combination of these questions, the 5 W's, and different verbs that are used frequently will be very useful. These tables are from the book الأساس في قواعد اللغة العربية. I will leave the link for this book in the description of the video, inshallah. You have the page numbers here from that PDF. For the conjugation of other verbs you choose, check Wiktionary. الإعجاب والاشتراك وطلب التنبيه. Liking, subscribing and requesting to be notified يساعد في الوصول إلى عدد أكبر من الناس. شكرا جزيلا. Helps in reaching a larger number of people. Thank you very much. We looked at this table in the Arabic Grammar for Beginners playlist, video number 5, and it talks about the number of letters in a word or a verb in the Arabic language. So I discussed this table towards the end of that video, so you can go back for that, for a discussion of these pronouns here. Now here, notice I wrote the second person is the ta here. So notice the ta there, this here in separate pronouns. So that's your clue about the second person. But notice the to here by itself, that's for the first person, I. So just be aware of that. For the rest, notice all these, you drop the first an here, an. Anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna. So this is the separate pronoun. If you drop it, then you connect this, whatever you're left with, the ta, the tuma, the tum. This here should be tu. So the tum, ti, tuma, tunna. These are the ones connected to the verb. So akalta, I connected this ta to the verb akala, he ate. It became akalta, you ate. So it's connected to the verb. So these are here called the subject pronouns. So you don't have to worry about memorizing this stuff. I'm just giving you a table that you can go back to. If not now, later. when you are trying to form different sentences. So, and here, notice this is, I pointed out the object pronoun. When these are connected to verbs, they're the object of the verb. And when they're connected to nouns, they indicate, just like in the word ذهابك in the sentence we are looking at now, you're going, or a different pronoun here is the e for possession, my going, ذهابي. So we will talk about this later, but for now I'm just giving you a source you can go back to. Here, just make sure it's object pronoun with verbs, with nouns, it means possession. And for more discussion of this, as I said, you can go back to this video that talks about the number of letters. Now here, another clue, notice the ha here. This is for the third person, so this is another clue you can use. Now in here, notice the verb ذهب, he went. ذهبا, they both went. Notice the pronoun here. Now this is the subject pronoun here, this here. The o here is for the third person and the second person if it's with a verb indicating the subject. So this is too much detail. I will not talk about these different rules, but know that the subject changes and the pronouns look different here. So this is in the past here. ذهب. In the sentence I used أن يذهب, to go, and that will be in the present. So if you go to Wiktionary, you will find a conjugation for the verb ذهب. Just write ذهب in Google's search box. Write ذهب Wiktionary and it will take you to that page. Just go to conjugation and you will get a conjugation of the verb ذهب in the present with different pronouns. Now here, this is a table that groups these pronouns in a different way. So here is masculine and this here is feminine. So F for feminine, M for masculine. Notice again the pronouns here are separate. Now here they use the words walad, which means boy, and bint, which means girl. So she is a girl. هو ولد, he is a boy. هي بنت, she is a girl. And then notice the additions and the changes to the noun that you are pointing to. So that's how these nouns change. So again, these are just to provide you a source to look at. So here's the singular and the dual and masculine with the feminine and masculine. So in here you have, these are the separate pronoun by themselves. So you can look at these for practice, see what you can remember. Then you can check the other tables. So you can use these for practice. Here you have the pronouns with the noun pupil, tilmid. Now here's the pronouns with the verb كتب, he wrote. So أنا كتبت, I wrote. Now notice here, this is in the past, كتب. Now this is all consonant. This verb is made up of all consonants, and this is how it looks in the past. Again, this is not to discuss these rules now, just giving you the tables. So when you master that one sentence and you change, you can look at these tables and use these tables to help you understand the tables in Wiktionary. So you see these pronouns listed here next to the verb that matches it, and you can see how you can use this. So هو كتب, هما كتبا, هم كتبوا, just like the word ذهب in the previous table we looked at. So that's in the past here. Here you have the present tense with the verb كتب, he wrote. Now he is writing, هو يكتب. Notice the present tense letters here. So here أنا أكتب, I write, or I am writing. Notice this is the present tense letter A for the first person. أنا ألعب. I am playing or I play. Notice this is the present tense letter, the a, added to the verb. Here لعب, he played. كتب, he wrote. If you say I in the present tense, the short vowels changed with the present tense letter أكتب. I am writing or I write. ألعب, I am playing or I play. Here with the different pronouns, you check these pronouns: third person, second person, and first person, singular, plural. And here, depending on the number of persons, you have the different pronouns. So يكتب, he writes. يكتبان, they both write. يكتبون, they write, masculine, plural. And you can follow it down. تكتب, she writes. تكتبان, the two girls or two women are writing. تكتبان. يكتبن, هن يكتبن, they are writing, for the feminine plural. يكتبن. Here for the second person, تكتب, you write. تكتبان, you both write. Ta. Notice this is the present tense ta for the second person. This is the present tense letter for the third person. And this hamza for the first person singular, and this an for the first person plural. Feminine or masculine, the singular feminine or masculine if it's first person. So, and here is the ta, the second person present tense letter. So notice you get these four letters: a, an, ta, and ya. Ya for the third person, whatever the group is, or the number of subjects or doers, that's the ya used there. The ta for the second person with the in front of the present tense, and this a for the singular first person, and this an for the plural first person. Now when you look at Wiktionary, you will see the same order here, and it will indicate the position of the pronoun or the verb. Now here is for the word ذهاب. We used ذهابك, you're going, in the sentence, or أن تذهب. So here is the for the present tense أن تذهب. You can, this is يكتب, تذهب. This is the word, the verb, the present tense verb to go that we used, أن تذهب, أن تذهب, that you go. So this is تذهب is the present tense for to you go. So here you can match it. You when you master the sentence, you can replace it with another verb and use these different forms of it. Now here ذهابك, you're going, or ذهابك, depending on the position. It's either ذهابي or ذهابو or ذهابة. So you can see it with one of these, either an u, bu, ba, or b, ذهابي. In the sentence we use ذهابك. So you're going, this ka there, it indicates you're in this context. So here you have an example with the word book for different pronouns with different persons. So هذا كتابي, this is my book, كتابي. Notice this ya here for the first person. هذا كتابي, this is my book, كتابي. For the two form of go is ذهاب. The two form of kitab is kitaba. So كتب, he wrote. يكتب, he writes. كتابة. So the two form or the source of this verb is kitaba. In going, it's ذهاب. So if I want to say you're writing, I will say كتابتك. كتابتك. Notice I opened this ta here, and I added the ka for your. So you're writing. كتابتك. So this here is 2 dots. That's how I sometimes write it. So كتابتك. So notice that's the 2 form of in the hab. That's what we use with the pronoun. So كتابتك, you're writing. ذهابك, you're going. Again, depending on its position, it's either a كتابي, كتابتي, or كتابته, or كتابته, because this ends with the ta, the 2 form of it. So now you get an idea about the source of the verb in the Arabic language. So here, notice the possessive pronoun with the different persons. So كتابه, his book. كتابهما, the book of both of them. كتابهم, their book, for the masculine. كتابها, her book. Here for the second person, and this is the one we used, this ka here. And notice it exists in all of these, with all these persons here, but there's an addition to it to indicate the different persons. So كتابك, your book, for a second person masculine. كتابكما for a second person feminine or masculine. You just add this ma there. كما becomes ku. Here it's ka. Now كتابكم, that's for the second person plural masculine. كتابك, that's for the second person singular feminine. Ki. Kuma is the same for the dual second person. كتابكن for the second person plural feminine. Kitabi, my book. Kitabuna, notice this na here, is our book. Now here we have a list of these questions. When you master this sentence, you will have a template, and you can start to change the nouns, the verbs, the questions, the prepositions, the pronouns, and so on. So now here we have the questions. You have this picture here. When you download this book, you can look at this picture and work with these questions, of course, whenever you're ready for it. So here is the question, السؤال. Al-jawab is the answer. So I will just give you the meaning of these questions here. I'm not going to go through these questions. So we will do this later. So kam is how many. So this is how many. Here it says how many persons are in the pictures here. Man is who. So this is who. Man. Kam, how many. Who is man. Now ma here, this is what. So with different context, it's only used as this ma is used for to mean what. So here it says ما الحيوان الذي يجر المحراث. What is the animal that is pulling the plow? So this is ma here, is another way to say what. ماذا is the one we used. So it says what. Notice it's used with a verb what. ماذا. ماذا يفعل الفلاح. What is the farmer doing? يفعل is doing. The present tense for the third person يفعل. He is doing. So ماذا. أين is where. So أين. Where. So أين is where. متى. When. So أين, where. Here it says أين وقف الخروف. Where did the lamp stand? So وقف. This is past. أين here. متى is when. تشرق الشمس. When does the sun rises? تشرق, she rise, or she is rising. So متى تشرق الشمس in this context with the question, it means when does the sun rise or do its rising. تشرق. متى, when. كيف is how. So كيف تطير العصافير. How do the birds fly. تطير is flying or flies. تطير depending on the person. So كيف تطير العصافير in English, but in Arabic تطير is for the plural the birds. How do the birds fly? Notice this verb is used with the feminine. She flies. You can say تطير, she flies. But for the plural of animals, it's the same thing, تطير. This one is used in different ways. So it could mean any, or it could mean which. So which or any. So this will depend on the context. Here it says أي حيوان تداعب الفتى. And the ending here on this أي changes depending on its use. So أي حيوان تداعب الفتى, which animal the girl is playing with. So notice the present tense تداعب is playing with. The girl is the subject. So this is which. So which animal the girl is playing with in this picture here. So these are the questions. Whenever you're ready to form another sentence, change the information you like to know. So you use these words. أي, which, كيف, how, متى, when, أين, where, ماذا, what, من, who, and so on. Now here, this is what you will see in Wiktionary. These are the meaning of the words they use. So this is the word we used, أكل. So the source here is أكل. But you can see it with different marks on it in some text you study. Whenever you study a text, you can see it with these different short vowels and nonation, on, in, and an. أكلا, أكلون, أكلن. So this is the two form for the eating, or the verb he ate. That's how it looks. So when you look at Wiktionary, you will see these under verbal nouns. Al-Masadir in Arabic, the sources. This is the literal meaning of the word Al-Masadir, the sources. So the nouns that consider the source of the verb and the present tense, the past tense, the present tense, and the imperative or the command, it's called verbal nouns. So that's what you're looking at in Wiktionary. That's the meaning of it. You will see these there. Dhahab, this is the word we use to go, or the going. That's, you will see it in verbal nouns. Now there are other ways to make that source noun. So you will see this madhab here, and just to understand what these are here. Ma'kal is another way to say the source noun. So that's what you will see at Wiktionary with the source nouns, the verbal nouns, they call it. Here is the past active participle. That's the name they give it. In Arabic, it's ismul fa'il, the name of the doer. This is the literal meaning of it. So it indicates the doer. That's what it means. So dhahib, the one who is going, dhahib. Akil, the one who is eating, akil. Ma'kul, ismul maf'ul. See, passive participle, this is what they call, in Arabic, it's ismul maf'ul, the name of the one that received the action, or the action is done to. In this context, ma'kul is what is eaten, ma'kul here. Now conjugation means tasrif. Tasrif in Arabic means change, and in grammar they use it to indicate conjugation. So for now, just use it in grammar, tasrif, because the regular word used for change is تغيير. So it's not the same word. Verb is al-fi'l. Now, these are the different states. The names are in Arabic al-mudari'. Now, here they call it non-past imperfect. That's how it's called in the Wiktionary. We will not go into these rules now. And this is what it means. If it's consonant, it means it has this O there. So this is the indicative of the non-past. You will see these with all these marks in the Wiktionary conjugation part or page. Al-Mansub is called subjunctive. If you are interested, you can look at the meaning of these words, subjunctive or indicative, in the context of grammar. So, but I'm not sure if they reflect the exact meaning in Arabic. So I'm using these Arabic nouns or words to indicate these grammar rules because they describe the sounds made. Here they use the word jasif to indicate the majzoom in Arabic, which means the cut. So just to help you understand the table in Wiktionary, so that's how they refer to these. So you can come back to these names and their meaning. So here, that's how it look when you read a text. You will see it with this movement. This is here the subjunctive. Notice the red color, that's what changes. This O here changes to A because of the effect of this lan here. Then it will not happen. So lan yal'ab, he will not play. Lan ya'kul, he will not eat. So if you stop at it, you don't have to worry about these movements. But if you continue talking, that's how the Arabs used to do, is they use the U if there is nothing affecting this present tense verb before it. If there is something that affects its movement, it will become ya'kula in this case. Ya'kul is to cut the movement. You drop all the movements. In this case, negation. Lam yal'ab. He did not play. He did not eat. Lam ya'kul. So it's marked by this circle there. Again, I don't like to go into too much details here. That's not how it's done. But now this here, this extended wavy line, that's the origin of it. It has two as to it. Because akal, it has this hamza at the beginning. You add this present tense letter to it. They end up doing this here. In the Arab, that's how they used to do it. So akulu, I eat, in the present tense. That's how you pronounce this, akulu. So that's the origin of it. And here you have the second person, the third person, and so on. So just go to Wiktionary and look at their table. Whenever you're ready to change the verb or keep the same sentence but use it with different persons here. You have an example here and you can go to Wiktionary, get the same thing. ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل ذهابك إلى العمل? What did you eat in the morning before you went to work? ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل أن تذهب إلى العمل? What you ate in the morning or morning time before you're going to work. ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل ذهابك إلى العمل? What did you eat in the morning before you went to work? ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل أن تذهب إلى العمل? What you ate morning time before you're going to work. ماذا أكلت صباحا قبل ذهابك إلى العمل? What did you eat in the morning before you went to work?